Hello everyone. Today we are going to see the chapter chemical kinetics. I'll give you a short introduction about it. What exactly is kinetics? We are going to see certain concepts, that is rate of reaction, factors affecting the rate of reaction and all. Let's go ahead. So what exactly is chemical kinetics that we are going to see? So chemical kinetics, it is branch of chemistry which deals with the rate of chemical reactions and the factors that affect them. So what are chemical reactions and what are the factors that affect these reactions? We are going to see in this. So it describes the rate of a reaction. It describes how rapidly the reactants are consumed or the products are formed. Always remember that in a particular reaction, the reactants are getting consumed and products are getting formed. What exactly is a reaction? Reaction means that is reactants are getting consumed. In any reaction, whether it is in a lab reaction or whether it is some other reaction, you can see that reactants are getting consumed and products are getting formed. Next thing we are going to see, that is average rate of chemical reaction. What exactly is average rate of a chemical reaction? It is described by knowing the change in concentration of reactant or product divided by time interval over which the change occurs. Always remember that average you are calculating with respect to time and speed you are calculating with respect to time. So it is described by knowing the change in concentration of reactant or product divided by time interval over which the change occurs. Next is average rate, the same, that is in the formula you can see change in concentration of species divided by change in time. How fast the species, the concentration of species, it can be both reactant as well as product. So change in concentration of species, that is delta C divided by delta T. Here if you consider a reaction, that is A goes to B, in which A is consumed and B is produced. Here the average rate of consumption of A, which is equal to minus delta by delta T of A. Here the derivative you can see minus delta by delta T of A. Why we are giving negative sign? Because A is getting consumed, whereas the average rate of formation of B, that will be plus delta by delta T of B. And why we are giving positive sign? Because the product B is formed here. So the average rate of reaction will be minus delta by delta T of A, which is equal to plus delta by delta T of B. That is rate of consumption, average rate of consumption of reactant A and average rate of formation of reactant B. The rate of reaction represents the decrease in concentration of the reactant per unit time or increase in concentration of the product per unit time. So hence you can see that the dimensions of rate are mole per dm cube per second. Why mole? Because it is in concentration, per dm cube, and second because it is in time inverse. Now what exactly is instantaneous rate? Word itself tells you instantaneous, means at that particular instant. If you have a particular reaction, for example A gives you B, the rate of consumption of A at time t will be minus delta, or you can say d by dt of A. Here a small knowledge of derivative you can see that minus d by dt of A. And why we are giving negative sign? Because A is getting consumed. And the rate of formation of B at time t will be d by dt of B. And we are giving positive sign for B because formation of B or B is getting formed. The rate of reaction at time t is thus given by minus d by dt of A, which is equal to plus d by dt of B. So both you can say that the rate of consumption of A at time t and rate of formation of B at time t, both the rates are equal. For the reactions involving 1 mole of A and B each, the rate of consumption of A equals to the rate of formation of B. So both here in the previous slide, if you see, both the concentrations were 1, and hence we say that the rate was equal. But this is not true for the reactions involving different stoichiometries. If the stoichiometries are different, or if you can see that the coefficients are different, just see here. If you consider an example, A plus thrice of B plus twice of C. When 1 mole of A is consumed, 3 moles of B are consumed and 2 moles of C are formed. So here no more the stoichiometry is 1 is to 1 is to 1. But but here you can see that the ratio is 1 is to 3 is to 2. So the stoichiometric coefficients of all the three species are different, that is 1, 3 and 2. So here, thus the rate of consumption of B is 3 times the rate of consumption of A. Here again I'll show you the rate of consumption of B is 3 times the rate of consumption of A. Likewise, the rate of formation of C is twice the rate of consumption of A. What C is formed, it is in 2 times. When you compare it with A, you can see that the rate of formation of C is twice the rate of consumption of A. So, we have minus d by dt of B, which is equal to minus 3 into d by dt of A, and d by dt of C, that is positive sign because C is getting formed, which is equal to 2 times negative sign minus d by dt of A. Again, I'll show you the reaction. A plus thrice of B, because B is in 3 proportion, or the stoichiometry is 3, and the stoichiometry of C, or the coefficient is for C is 2. So here we have with this minus d by dt of A, which is equal to minus 1 by 3 into d by dt of B, which is equal to 1 by 2 into d by dt of C, or the rate of reaction, which is equal to minus d by dt of A, which is equal to minus 1 by 3 into d by dt of B. So which is also equal to plus. Why we are giving plus? Because product C is getting formed. 1 by 2 into d by dt of C. In general, if you consider a reaction, now I am not giving you any coefficients numerically, just small a, capital B, small, in terms of small letters I'll give you, that is small a of A plus B of B gives C of C plus D of D. So rate will be minus 1 by A into D by dt of A, which is equal to minus 1 by B into D by dt of B. Why negative sign? Because they are reactants and reactants are getting consumed, which is equal to 1 by C into dC by dt, positive sign because C is getting formed, which is equal to positive sign 1 by D into d by dt of D. Now, rate of reaction and reactant concentration. We are going to see what is rate of reaction and reactant concentration. The rate of reaction at a given temperature for a given time instant depends on the concentration of the reactant. Such rate concentration relation is called as rate law. Now, how we are going to relate a rate of reaction with respect to concentration? For that, we have a particular formula, or for that, we have a particular pattern, and that is called as rate law. What exactly is rate law and how we are going to relate? I'll show you. If you consider this reaction, A of A plus B of B gives C of C plus D of D. The rate of reaction at a given time is proportional to its molar concentration at that time raised to simple pass. For example, if you have here the same reaction, that is A of A plus B of B gives C of C plus D of D. The rate of reaction is directly proportional to A raised to, you can say, active mass of A raised to coefficient X and active mass of B raised to coefficient Y. If you see properly, A and B are nothing but they are reactants, capital A and capital B, and X and Y. They are raised to the pass X and Y. You all know, according to the law of mathematics, if you want to remove the proportionality sign, we have to give a constant. So rate is equal to K, which is a constant, into active mass of A raised to X into active mass of B raised to Y. So this is called as differential rate law, and K is nothing but proportionality constant. So what exactly is rate law? Here you can see now the rate of reaction at a given temperature for a given time instant depends on the concentration of the reactant. So here it depends on the concentration of the reactants. Reactants are capital A and capital B. And concentration means active mass, which is always represented in square bracket. You can see on the screen. That is rate of reaction that is directly proportional to active mass of A raised to X into active mass of B raised to Y. Now the pass X and Y. In the previous slide you saw here pass X and Y. See, the pass X and Y of the concentration terms A and B in the rate law not necessarily equal to the stoichiometric coefficient small a and small b. X and Y are experimentally determined. They are not theoretical. According to the experiment, you can see what the value of X and Y is. See here, X and Y, it may or may not be equal to the stoichiometric coefficients A and B. Here if you see, the exponents X and Y appearing in the rate law tell us how the concentration change affects the rate of reaction. according to the concentration, that is how concentration will change according to x and y. Now see here, for example, if you have x is equal to y is equal to 1 in the first case, and the formula that we had here was k is equal to, rate is equal to k into active mass of a raised to x into active mass of b raised to y. So here we have rate is equal to k into active mass of A raised to 1 because x is equal to 1, and active mass of B raised to y, but y is equal to 1. So the equation implies that the rate of reaction depends linearly on concentrations of A and B. It depends linearly on the concentration of A and B. If either of concentration of A or B is doubled, the rate will also be doubled because it depends linearly. In the second case, if you see, for x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 1, if you have x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 1, then let's come back to our initial formula or initial rate law. We can see here that rate is equal to k into active mass of a raised to x into active mass of b raised to y. And here in the second case, we are putting x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 1. Then this equation will lead to the rate, that rate is equal to k into active mass of A raised to 2 because x is equal to 2 and B raised to 1. So if the concentration of A is doubled, keeping that of B constant, the rate of reaction will increase by a factor of 4 because it's square. If x is equal to 0, the rate is independent of the concentration of A, because you all know according to the law of mathematics, anything raised to 0 will be 1. Now, if x is less than 0, that is if it is going in a negative value, if x is less than 0, the rate decreases as A increases because it is a direct proportion. If one increases, the other will also increase. So, the rate decreases as capital A increases. Writing the rate law. How to write a rate law? Consider if you have a reaction, that is peroxide is given 2 molecules of H2O2, which is in gaseous state, will give you 2 molecules of H2O, that is water in liquid state, plus oxygen, that is O2, which is again in gaseous state. If the rate of reaction is proportional to concentration of H2O2, the rate law is thus given by rate is equal to K into active mass of H2O2. Now, what exactly is order of a reaction? What exactly is order of reaction that we are going to see now? For a reaction, if you have a reactions, A of A plus B of B gives C of C plus D of D. Small a, small b, small c, small d. These are coefficients. If the rate of reaction, if the rate of the reaction is given by, according to the previous slides we have seen, that rate is equal to K into active mass of A raised to X and active mass of B raised to Y. X and Y are nothing but coefficients and they are not related to A and B. So the sum X plus Y gives overall order of the reaction. What exactly is order of reaction? Order of reaction is, here you can see the definition. Hence, overall order of chemical reaction is given as sum of pass of concentration terms in the rate law. So the rate law is K, rate is equal to K into active mass of A raised to, here you can see so here you can see that rate is equal to active mass of A raised to X into active mass of B raised to Y. So the exact X, so here you can see X plus Y is nothing but order of a reaction. So this X plus Y is no longer related to the stoichiometric coefficient. It is an experimental quantity, and this X plus Y tells you what exactly is the order of reaction. For example, on the screen you can see the first reaction, that is 2 molecules of peroxide. If you have 2 molecules of peroxide, that is H2O2, which is in gaseous state, that will give you 2 molecules of H2O, which is in liquid state, that is water, plus O2, that is oxygen, which is again in gaseous state. Now, experimentally determined rate law, it is not theoretical. When you go for the experiment and then you find out that is experimentally determined rate law, it tells you that rate of reaction that is equal to K into active mass of H2O2. So, the reaction is first order, because here the coefficient is 1. This coefficient 1 is no longer related with this stoichiometric coefficient 2. They are not related to each other. This 1, the value of 1 is experimentally determined. It is not a theoretical concept. It is experimentally determined, and it tells you that the rate of, the order of reaction. So here you can see that the order of reaction is 1, or it is a first order reaction. Now on the screen you can see the second example that is experimentally determined. If you have H2, which is in gaseous state, plus I2, which is again in gaseous state, that will give you Hi, which is again in gaseous state, and 2 molecules of Hi. Now, according to this experimentally determined rate law, if you have rate of reaction that is equal to, you can say K, which is a constant, into active mass of H2 into active mass of I2. So here the addition of two coefficients, okay? The rate of reaction, if you see, it is first order with respect to H2, and it is again first order with respect to I2. With respect to H2, it is first order. With respect to I2, it is first order. So 1 plus 1, naturally the order of the reaction is 2. So it is experimentally determined. It is not a theoretical concept. It is an experimentally determined concept, order of reaction. Now there are certain things that you should keep in mind while determining the order of reaction. The very first thing is the order of a chemical reaction is experimentally determined. One thing you should know that it is experimentally determined. The next thing is it can be an integer or fraction. If you look on the screen, the first example, if you have, that is, if you have CH3CHO, will give you methane plus carbon monoxide. So the rate law for the reaction was found to be rate is equal to K into active mass of CH3CHO, which is 3 by 2. The order of reaction is 3 by 2. So it can be a fraction, it can be an integer. The order of reaction can also be 0. Always remember that order of reaction can also be 0. That is, if you have here NO2 plus carbon monoxide, which is in gaseous state, that will give you NO plus CO2. So the rate law expression for this rate is K is equal to active mass of NO2 raised to 2. This shows that order of reaction with respect to NO2 is 2, and with respect to carbon monoxide is 0. And anything raised to 0 is 1. For example, if you have this reaction, NO2, which is in gaseous state, plus carbon monoxide, which is in gaseous state, will give you now here the rate of reaction. You can see that according to experiment we have seen rate is equal to K into active mass of NO2 raised to 2. Now if this reaction is second order and if it is with respect to NO2 you have 2, naturally with respect to CO2 it will be 0, because according to the law of mathematics anything raised to 0 is 1. So therefore that is equal to K into active mass of NO2 raised to 2. Now higher order reactions are very rare. First order, second order, you can see here. The molecularity of elementary reactions. What exactly is molecularity of elementary reaction? Complex reactions are those which constitute a series of elementary reactions. Now elementary reactions means you can see that which cannot be broken down into single reactions. For example, if you have ozone, that is O3, which is in gaseous state, will give you oxygen, which is in gaseous state, plus oxygen, which is single molecule. So also if you have C2H5 I, that is if you have ethyl iodide, which is in gaseous state, will give you ethane and plus HI, which is in gaseous state. These reactions occur in a single step and they cannot be broken down into simpler steps. For example, simpler reactions, same if you have seen in the above reaction, that is C2H5I will give you C2H4, okay, that is a double bond, plus Hi, that is hydrogen iodide. So you cannot break it into simpler reactions. Now, what is molecularity of a reaction? It refers to how many reactant molecules are involved in the reaction. How many reactant molecules are involved? How many reactant molecules are there in the reaction? That tells you. If only one reactant is involved, then it is called as a unimolecular reactant reaction. Or if more than one, then it is called as bimolecular, trimolecular, and accordingly. If you have here O3 plus oxygen will give you two molecules of, here you can see, will give you two molecules of O2. The element, and same here, two molecules of NO2, which is in gaseous state, will give you two molecules of NO, which is in gaseous state, plus O2, which is again in gaseous state. The elementary reactions involving two reactant molecules, they are called as bimolecular, or they have molecularity as two. The molecularity of an elementary reaction is the number of reactant molecules. Always remember, it depends upon the number of reactant molecules which are taking part. Now we are going to see what is order and molecularity of elementary reactions. Here if you see on the screen, the rate law for the elementary reaction, that is two molecules of NO2 will give you, actually it should be NO, two molecules of NO plus O2. The same reaction, see now, if you have two molecules of NO2 which is in gaseous state, that will give you two molecules of NO which is again in gaseous state plus O2 which is in gaseous state. Now see here, it is found that the rate of reaction here will be, naturally it will depend upon the rate of concentration of the reactant. So rate is equal to K into active mass of NO2. But this, according to the experiment, it was found out that it is 2. So the reaction is second order and it is also bimolecular because it contains two reactant molecules are involved. So it is second order and it is bimolecular. But for the elementary reaction, the next reaction, if you see on the screen, that is ethyl iodide, which is in gaseous state, will give you ethene, which is in gaseous state, plus Hi, and that is hydrogen iodide. So here you can say that the rate is equal to K into active mass of C2H5I. Here it is unimolecular and it is first order. But there are certain cases where the molecularity and the, you can say that order may not be same. Now what exactly is rate determining step and all, we'll see in the next lecture. Till then, see that you study properly. You have seen various concepts today, right from introduction to rate, order, average rate, molecularity, instantaneous rate, and all. See that you will stay home, stay safe.